Hello.
Good evening, dear
Guten,
audience.
ja, guten Tag.
Ага,
Wie
guten
geht's?
Tag. Да,
I,
ворота висят, let's go.
okay, let's go. Where is our book?
Oh, here it is.
I mean, where is it? Why it doesn't show up?
It does for me. I'm
For you,
staring at it.
but not for me.
That's interesting.
Oh, now it's
О,
it's
мышка
fun.
нашлась.
Where?
Ну, I just saw your mouse on the screen. No, no.
Ah, my mouse. Here, here the White Queen began again. It was such a thunderstorm. You can't think. She never could, to think, says the Red
Yes.
Queen.
Mm.
And part of the roof came off, and ever so much thunder got in, and it went rolling round the room in great lumps, and knocking over the tables and things till I was so frightened I couldn't remember my own name. Alice thought to herself, I never should try to remember my name in the middle of an accident. Where would be the use of it? But she did not say this aloud, for fear of hurting the poor queen's feelings. Oh,
Oh,
she's such a poor thing.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this word. Your Majesty, must excuse me.
Sure.
Excuse me. Okay, Your Majesty must excuse her, the Red Queen said to Alice, taking one of the White Queen's hands in her own and gently stroking it. She means well, but she can't help saying foolish things as a general rule, just like me. uh, the White Queen looked timidly at Alice, who felt she ought to say something kind, but really couldn't think of anything at the moment. She never was really well brought up, the Red Queen went on. But it's amazing how good tempered she is. Pat her on the head and see how pleased she'll be. But this was more than Alice had courage to do. Her little kindness and putting her hair in papers would do wonders with her. The White Queen gave a deep sigh and
Laid.
laid her head on Alice's shoulder. I am so sleepy, she moaned. She's tried, poor thing.
Ah,
Nein, the, das ist nicht korrekt.
no.
Nein.
Let's do it again.
Oh, she's tired, poor thing, said the Red Queen. Smoothed her hair, lent her own nightcap, and sang her a soothing lullaby. haven't got any nightcap with me, said Alice, as she tried
Obey.
obey the first direction, and I don't know any soothing lullabies. I must do it myself then, said the Red Queen, and she began. Hushie boy lady in Alice's lap, till the
Yeah.
feast's ready, with time for a nap.
A nap.
When the feast's over, we'll go to the ball. Red Queen and White Queen and Alice and all.
And all.
And now you know the words, she added, as she put her head down on Alice's other shoulder. Just saying it from to me. I'm getting sleepy too. In another moment, both queens were fast asleep and snoring loud.
Nice.
What am I to do? Exclaimed Alice, looking about in great perplexity. At first, one round head, and then the other rolled down from her shoulder and lay like a heavy lump in her lap. I don't think it ever happened before that any one had to take care of two queens asleep at once. No, not in all the history of England. It couldn't, because there never was more than one queen at a time. Do wake up, you have things, she went on in an impatient tone. But there was no answer, but a gentle snoring.
Gentle. Keep, keep yourself together. Let's finish the chapter.
Yeah. The snoring got more distinct every minute,
Minute.
and sounded more like a tune. At last, she could even make out words, and she listened so eagerly that when the two great heads suddenly vanished from her lap, she hardly missed them. She was standing before an arched doorway, over which were the words Queen Alice in large letters, and on each side of the arch there was a bell handle. One was marked Victor's bell, and the other
Visitors. Виктор. Виктора зачем сюда?
visitor's bell, and the other servant's bell. I'll wait till the song is over, thought Alice, and then I'll ring the which bell must I ring? She went on very much puzzled by the names. I'm not a visitor, and I'm not a servant. There ought to be one marked Queen, you know? Just then, the door opened a little way, and a creature which with a long beak put its head out for a moment and said, "No
Admittance.
admittance, no admittance till the week after next," and shut the door again with a bang. Buck, buck.
Mm-hmm.
Alice knocked and ran in a vain for a long time, but at last a very old frog, who was sitting under a tree, got up and hobbled slowly towards her. He was dressed in bright yellow and had enormous boots on. Right?
Right.
Okay. "What is it now?" the frog said in a deep, hoarse voice. Whisper.
Whisper.
Alice turned around, ready to find fault with anybody. "Where is a servant whose business it is to answer the door?" she began angrily. "Which door?" said the frog. Alice almost stumped with irritation at the slow drawl in which he spoke. "This door, of course." The frog looked at the door with his large dull eyes for a minute. Then he went nearer and rubbed it with his thumb, as if he were trying whether the paint would come off. Then he looked at Alice. Beautiful picture as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the frog looks like frog.
Mm.
Not like something
Yep.
else.
Yep.
To answer the door, he said. "What's been asking for?"
Off.
Huh?
Off. Asking off.
What's been asking of? He was so hoarse that Alice could scarcely hear him. "I don't know what you mean," she said. "I speaks English, doesn't I?" The frog went on. "Yeah, it's like me. Or are you deaf? What did it ask you?" "Nothing," Alice said impatiently. "I've been knocking at it." "Shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that," the frog muttered.
Muttered.
Muttered. Whatever. Both. Entrambi. Обидва. Vexes it. You know? Then he went up and gave the door a knock, a kick, with one of his great feet. "You let it alone," he panted out as he hobbled back to his tree. "And it'll let you alone, you know." At this moment, the door was flung open, and a shrill voice was heard singing, "To the looking glass world." It was Alice that said, "I've a scepter in hands. I've a crown on my head. Let the looking glass creatures, whatever they be, come and dine with the Red Queen, the White Queen, and me."
Mm.
And hundreds of voices joined in the chorus. Then fill up the glasses as quick as you can and sprinkle the table with buttons and brand. Put
Mm.
cats in the coffee and mice in the tea and welcome Queen Alice with 30 times 3.
Mhm.
Almost. Am I good at singing?
Mhm.
Then followed a confused noise of cheering, and Alice thought to herself, 30 times 3 makes 90. I wonder if anyone's counting. In a minute there was silence again, and the same shrill voice sang another verse. "Oh, looking glass creatures," quoth Alice, "draw near. 'Tis an honour to see me, a favour to hear. 'Tis a privilege high to have dinner and tea, along with the Red Queen and the White Queen and me."
Me.
Exactly. Oh, lol. Um, yeah.
Then came the chorus again. Let's go.
Then came the chorus again. Then fill up the glass with treacle and ink, or anything else that is pleasant to drink. Mix sand with cinder.
Cider.
Cider.
Cider, cinder. О,
Cider.
опилками или с сидром. Ну-ну.
Sorry.
And wool.
Okay, mix sand with cider and wool with the wine, and welcome Queen Alice with 90 times 9. 90 times 9, Alice repeated in despair. "Oh, that'll never be done. I'd better go in at once." And in she went, and there was a dead silence the moment she appeared. Alice glanced nervously along the table as she walked up the large hall and noticed that there were about 50 guests of all kinds. Some were animals, some birds, and there were even a few flowers among them. "I'm glad they've come without waiting to be asked," she thought. "I should never have known who were the right people to invite." There were 3 chairs at the head of the table. The red and the white queens had already taken 2 of them, but the middle one was empty. Alice sat down in it, rather uncomfortable at the silence, and longing for someone to speak. At last the Red Queen began. "You missed the soup and fish," she said.
She said.
"Put on the joint." And the waiters set a leg of mutton before Alice, who looked at it rather anxiously, as she had never had to carve a joint before. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hello, good morning. You look a little shy. Let me introduce you to that leg of mutton. Baranina.
Baranina.
I said the Red Queen. Alice Martin. Martin Alice. Nice to meet you. Then,
Sure.
nice to meet you.
Oh, no,
Alice. Alice. Baron Alice. Got it?
Yeah,
Well,
and that's it is on the picture.
yeah. The leg of mutton got up in the dish and made a little bow to Alice, and Alice returned the bow. Now knowing whether to be frightened or amazed.
Amused.
Amused. Amazed. Both go well.
Mm-hmm.
May I give you a slice? She said, taking up the knife and fork and looking from one queen to the other. Certainly not, the Red Queen said, very decisively. It isn't etiquette. Yeah?
Mhm. Etiquette.
Etiquette. To cut anyone you've been introduced to. Remove the joint.
Борщ, Антон. Антон, борщ. Все.
Yeah, we don't eat each other.
Oh.
And the waitress carried it off and brought a large plum pudding in its place. I won't be introduced to the pudding, please, Alice said rather hastily, or we shall get no dinner at all. May I give you some? But the Red Queen looked sulky and growled, Pudding? Alice. Alice? Pudding. Remove the pudding. And the waiters took it away so quickly that Alice couldn't return its bow. However, she didn't see why the Red Queen shouldn't be the only one to give orders. So, as an experiment, she called out, Waiter.
Waiter.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
waiter. What's
Mhm.
wrong with the waiter?
Well, your intonation. She called out, waiter. Bring
Waiter!
that-
Блядь!
Well, yes, it's an order.
Bring back the pudding.
Mm-hmm.
And there it was again in a moment, like a conjuring trick.
Conjuring trick.
Conjuring trick. It was so large that she couldn't help feeling a little shy with it. As she had been with a mutton.
So your energy is low. So the reading.
the
Just going away.
the battery is low.
Oh. Drink
However,
something.
however, she conquered her shyness by a great effort and cut a slice and handed it to the Red Queen. What?
What's wrong with you?
Impudence.
Impertinence, наверное. Yeah.
What impertinence? Said the pudding. I wonder how you like it if I were to cut a slice out of you, you creature. It spoke in a thick, sweetly sort of voice, and Alice hadn't a word to say in reply. She could only sit and look at it and gasp. make a remark," said a Red Queen. The Red Queen. "It's ridiculous to leave all the conversation to the pudding." Do you know I've had such a quantity of poetry repeated to me today? Alice began, a little frightened at finding that the moment she opened her lips there was dead silence, and all eyes were fixed upon her. And it's a very curious thing, I think. Mm, every poem was about fishes in some way. Do you know why they are so fond of fishes? All about here. She spoke to the Red Queen, whose R were answer.
М, Все догадываться надо. А
Yeah.
вдруг это арс?
No.
Окей. Ах, это ансер.
Whose answer was a little wide of the mark. As to fishes, she said very slowly and solemnly, putting her mouth close to Alice's ear. Her white Majesty knows a lovely riddle, all in poetry, all about fishes. Shall she repeat it? Her Red Majesty's very kind to mention it, the White Queen murmured, yeah,
Мурмурт.
into Alice's other ear, in a voice like the cooing of a pigeon. Are you a pigeon or a dove?
You don't leave me any choice.
It would be such a treat. May I? Please do. Alice said very politely. The White Queen laughed with delight and stroked Alice's cheek. And then she began. "Further fish must be caught. That is easy. A baby, I think, could have caught it."
Так.
"Next, the fish must be bought. That is easy. A penny."
Мгм. Не пенис. Пенни.
Penny. "I think would have bought it. Now cook me the fish. That is easy and will not take more than a minute. Oh.
Мгм.
Let it lie in a dish. That is easy because it already is in it. Bring it here. Let me sup. It's easy to set such a dish on the table. Take the dish cover up. Ah! That is so hot that I fear I am unable. I you
Too early. Okay.
Poet holds it like a glue. Holds a lid to the dish while it lies in the middle, which is the easiest to do. And dish cover as a fish of dish cover the riddles. Take a minute to think about it, and then Guess, mm, said the Red Queen. Meanwhile, she will drink your health. Uh,
2, 4, or just your health? А, да, о господи. Ага.
Queen Alice's health,
Мгм.
she screamed at the top of her voice, and all the guests began drinking it directly and very queerly. They managed it. Some of them put their glasses upon their heads like extinguishers.
Extinguishers.
Extinguishers, yeah, and drank all that trickled down their faces. Mm,
Faces, а не festus.
faces.
Yeah.
Other upset the uh, decanters
Мгм.
and drank the wine as it ran off the edges of the table as three of them, who looked like kangaroos, scrambled into the dish of roast mutton and began eagerly lapping up the gravy, just like pigs in a trial, thought Alice. Right?
Mhm. Mhm.
You ought to return thanks in a neat speech. The Red Queen said, frowning at Alice, and she spoke as she spoke.
As we spoke.
And not with my ass, but with his ass. Just ass.
Your ass reads well. Go on.
Go on. Well, we must support you, you know? The White Queen whispered as Alice got up to do it, very obediently, but a little frightened. Thank you very much, she whispered in reply. But I can do quite well without. Um, that wouldn't be at all the thing, the Red Queen said very decisively. So Alice tried to submit to it with a good grace. And they did push so. She said afterwards, when she was telling his sister the history of the feast. You would have thought they wanted to squeeze me flat. Mm, in fact, it was rather difficult for her to keep in her place while she made her speech. The two queens pushed her so, one on each side, that they nearly lifted her up into the air. I rise to return thanks, Alice began, and she really did rise as she spoke several inches. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But she got hold of the edge of the table and managed to pull herself down again. Take care of yourself, screamed the White Queen, seizing Alice's hair with both her hands. Ooh, that hurts.
Jesus. Uh-huh.
Something's going to happen. And then, as Alice afterwards described it, all sorts of things happened in a moment. The candles all grew up to the ceiling. looking something like a bed of rushed, rushes with fireworks at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. As to the bottles, they each took a pair of plates, which they hastily fitted on as wings, and so with forks for legs. When fluttering about in all directions, and very like birds they look. Alice thought to herself as well as she could in the dreadful mm, confusion that was beginning. Right?
I guess.
Okay. Does it sound alright?
This is a weird chapter.
Yeah. What am I reading?
Huh.
Ah, what are we reading?
Chapter 9.
Yeah, but what are we reading about?
Oof, some weird dream. And
Ah,
I think they're waking up, so let's see.
okay. At this moment, she heard a hoarse laugh at her side and turned to see what was the matter with the queen, white queen. But instead of the queen, there was a leg of mutton seated in the chair. Here I am, cried a voice from the sofa, touring. And Alice turned again, just in time to see the queen's broad, good-natured face grinning at her for a moment over the edge of the turning before she disappeared into the soup. Perfect. There was not a moment to be lost. Already several of the guests were lying down in the dishes, like me after the New Year night.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
and and in the soup ladle was walking up the table towards Alice's chair. Oh yeah, and beckoning to her impatiently to get out of its way. Okay, that happens oftentimes. I can't
Yeah.
stand this any longer, she cried as she jumped up and seized the tablecloth with both hands. One good pull, and plates, dishes, gas, and candles came crashing down together in the heap on the floor. Mm, and and as for you, she went on, turning fiercely upon the Red Queen, whom she considered as the cause of all the mischief. But Queen was no longer at her side. She had suddenly uh, dwindled down the size of a little doll, and was now on the table merrily running round and round after her own shawl, uh, with, which was trailing behind her. Huh. That's fun. Oftentimes that happens, you know? When you go round and round and your show goes with you trailing behind you. Yeah. And Annie, does it happen to you?
I don't have a shawl.
Why?
I just don't have it.
Okay.
Not even a scarf.
Okay.
Так что нет, за мной одежда не гоняется.
No, that happens sometimes.
With
Uh,
you?
And me too.
Yeah,
At any other time, Alice would have felt surprised at this, but she was far too
Much
much
excited.
excited. Okay, at any other time, Alice would have felt surprised at this, but she was far too much excited to be surprised at anything now. As for you, she repeated, catching hold of the little creature in the very act of jumping over a bottle which had just lighted upon the table. I'll shake you into a kitten. That I will. The mouse was running.
А? Нет, она королеву в котенка хотела вытрусить. Ну-ну.
Ah, that's fine.
Oh, you lied to me.
Yeah,
You
like
said chapter 9 was last.
not 9 but 10.
Okay, now I believe you.
Shake it.
No? Shake it, baby, shake it. Okay.
Did you like the story?
That's a weird, weird, weird chapter.
No, it's fine.
I understand the words, but not the meaning.
Me too.
No, ладно. So let you sleep and dream about all that shit that you've just read about.
No.
No.
Why about this shit?
Why not?
Oh,
Может,
because
you make
it's
sense of
because
it.
because it's shitty shit.
Well, it's classical novel. How dare you?
Yeah.
Ignorant boy.
Yeah.
Calling it sweet shit.
No. Okay, maybe German.
Thank you. Not today.
One of
You're
9.
gonna shake me into a kitten. No.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow, but I actually want to finish this book since it's chapter 10.
Ah,
So-
okay.
Finish it tomorrow and then we'll see about German.
Maybe German. Once upon a time, es war eine Kitten.
Nicht heute, bitte.
Va bene, va bene, va bene.
Va bene, да, baby, да, baby.
Sì.
Ладно,
Okay.
gute Nacht.
Gute